I would do anything to say anything to him again. Whether it was an argument or, one of his bear hugs. But I love him with everything in me.
It's been an incredibly emotional and difficult 2 years for the Mack family after 24-year-old Miguel Mack went missing on February the 27th, 2023. In their words, their lives felt like a dreamlike state as they began the search for Miguel.
It was a fear of the unknown. I was afraid that I wasn't going to see him again. And then I had hopes that he's just in hiding. The only way I could describe it was it's a living nightmare.
His brother Elijah headed up the massive search, using the family home as a command center. Maps and grids were used to search everywhere, from fields, abandoned buildings, the forest, and the river.
So today, I believe we're going to head out down to Highway 8 towards Newayat Reserve and check the rivers, the hillsides, and go from there.
Sadly, Elijah had the grim task of dragging the river with the end of a rake attached to a rope, hoping to find his brother. At first, there were a lot of people helping, but as time went on, the family found themselves searching every day, sometimes alone.
There's 2 years where no one was involved, and it was a lot of just mom, and mom, and mom. And I've always told her, I'm like, every time I think you can't get any stronger, you do, because you just show up, right? And you do the things that nobody wants to do. And I just had to mention that because it's important as a mother and as a son, to be able to see that strength and that power of prayer as well.
Miguel's birthday, for example, I cooked his favorite meals and I would bring it out and do offerings. I would bring it downtown to the homeless and talk to them, and I would bring it to the river, and I was always at the river. I would go out in the woods. I would talk to him and plead with him to come home.
But they never found him. And after searching, sadly, the RCMP announced that they found the body of Miguel Mack.
In terms of where he was found, we're not completely sure of all of that information yet because it's still, in the
process of investigation.
Well, it's still with the Southeast District Major Crimes Unit, so they're still handling the case.
We do know he was found by a member of the public in April, and his death has been ruled a homicide. However, it took time to identify him. The RCMP released this statement. There are people out there with direct and indirect knowledge of Miguel Mack's death, and we are asking those individuals to come forward and contact the police.
Over 800 days of searching, I was starting to feel a little worried there. I put over 250,000 kilometers on my truck searching for him, and I was so worried if it broke down I won't have anything. It's a different pain. There was that pain of not knowing, not knowing. And then now it's like, now what? What do I do? How do I get up and not go out and worry about searching? And now there's a deeper pain of knowing that he's really not on earth with us now, and that's probably one of the hardest ones, is accepting that part.
He was raised in Merritt, BC, along with his 4 brothers by their mom, Marcella Mack. They grew up as a close, tight-knit family, and he was always laughing and joking with his brothers. Miguel, known as Miggy to his friends and family, fell in love with baseball at an early age, something he excelled at all his life. He was also the father of a young boy and a baby girl. And finally, he was honored in his New Hawk tradition, with his family bringing him to their home community in Bella Coola to be buried. Tina House, APTN National News, Merritt.